for Addie. And while we were there, we were waiting in the waiting room to go in and speak with the doctors there. And it was a big children's hospital waiting room. And we were surrounded by those children that we've seen far too often with the bald heads and the swollen faces, who were right in the middle of their battle. And I remember it struck me, it was very clear to me that, number one, it wasn't like they do it in movies with all the drama and emotion. For these people, it was Wednesday. It was time to go get your chemotherapy for your kid and to be there for your kid. And I was struck by their strength and how the kids were playing puzzles and games and the parents were keeping them active. And the second thought I had was, boy, that is a club you would never want to be a member of. I had no idea that at that very moment we were a member of that club. Addie had leukemia at that point, we just didn't know it yet. There's many things I had no idea about at that point. One of the other things is that it's not a club. It's an army. It's an army of people fighting a vicious killer disease that I have grown to hate with every fiber of my being. I don't hate much, I don't hate anyone, but I hate cancer. And I know I'm not alone in this room. That's why it lifts me up, and I know it lifts many people up, to see the army that is enlisted to fight against cancer. Some people here have been drafted. Addie was drafted. Charlie was drafted. Too many people in this room were drafted into this battle. But then that's how they carry themselves that inspires the rest of us. They carry themselves like soldiers in battle. All the words, survivor, fighting, all those words are part of our vocabulary. And we do wonderful, light lifting things with each other. But I'm always struck to remember that it's always about a fight to the death against cancer. Cancer's the one that's going to be eradicated in the long run. And I'm also, besides those who are drafted, I'm lifted by those who have volunteered. And I'm talking not just about the family members who fight so very, very hard. I agree with that so much. The family members that I've seen have carried so much. My wife, what she did when my daughter was sick, the hours, the time, the talking with doctors and nurses, the playing with her at the bedside. She was a volunteer, and she was drafted at the same time. When I talk about volunteers, I'm talking about some people that blow me away that don't have that personal connection, but see a need and stand up alongside. And I'm telling you, Team Addie could not work without volunteers. We have many people here whose hearts were just moved, and they enlisted in this fight. Many of those are fans of the show Nashville. For those of you that don't know Team Addie, I'm very, very proud to say last year we raised around $40,000. This year we made just slightly over $100,000. The reason I mention that is because there's so many people that stepped up as volunteers, and very many of those are Nashville fans. There's a couple tables full right now. I want to first of all point out our top fundraiser of all, Kim McDonald. Will you please stand up for a second for me? This is Kim McDonald, raised over $8,000. And with the rest of the group, the Nashies all together, Nashville fans whose hearts were moved by our story, by our plight, and by just the caring that seems to go with the people that love our show. I swear that's true. With the rest of the Nashies, please stand up so I can thank you. Jacqueline, Rory, Angie, Liz, Amy, Emily. Please, everybody, thank you very much, you guys. You move us beyond all words. So what I want to say is that I love these moments where we get to say, well done this year, but every single one of us knows that the battle's not over. Just recently, another crew member from the Nashville show itself had to share that her granddaughter, a 12-year-old, has the same leukemia that Addie had. And fortunately, we were able to share our story and share the hope that comes through survivors, and also tell her about this group. I can't tell you what it was and how quickly that wanted to come out of my mouth. You're not alone. Wait, you got to know about these people. These people are amazing. So what I'm wrapping up to say is, in the beginning, I saw a club that I wasn't a member of and nobody wants to be a member of. And now I'm honored, I'm proud, and I'm pretty emotional to be standing amongst an army of people that are fighting this thing to the death on behalf of those they know, those they love, and those they will never ever meet in their lives. So thank you very much for doing that. I appreciate it, you guys.